on this eye on Friday. So that's why I'm there. And the doctor want me to have something over for a minute. Amazing.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, happy Father's Day, everybody. We have any fathers here? Oh good. Happy Father's Day. Amazing, huh? Are we reading it?
We're quite early, actually.
Oh.
3 minutes early.
So we'll be late then.
Cancel those words in the name.
What?
Why aren't you canceling them?
Cancel no word. So how did Pastor look? Y'all can see me? I had a choice of wearing shades, but I don't like to interview people with shades. I like to see eyes. So I thought I'd go with with one patch instead of shades. Amazing. This is the first time we've been early in a long time.
Yeah.
You guys been here before, huh?
Yeah. I
Oh.
want to see if you remember me or not.
Yeah.
Or from my voice, maybe.
You're Celeste's son.
Yeah.
That's Celeste's son. That's amazing. Are you back in? You living here in the States now?
No, but I'm just here visiting for a moment.
How long you gonna be in town?
Oh, the whole summer, easily.
What?
The whole summer.
You gonna be here all summer?
Yeah, the whole summer.
Amazing.
I might even hang out here to see how everything goes. We're here 2 weeks now.
You been here for 2 weeks? Oh yeah. You like here better than you like Europe?
Well, it depends. You know, the people here are a little more crazy in a way, but I would say here is more different, and it's more unique in a way. But also, Europe has its own uniqueness.
And like in what way are they different than us?
Well, here the people actually have in their consciousness, they're kind of more close with God. They have
Closer with God?
yeah.
Over
They
here?
have an awareness. They have some kind of awareness here. Like you can talk to them about God and they notice it.
Oh.
In Europe, they're kind of like very based off the book religion, you know,
Off the Bible?
off the Bible, the Bible thumping mentality.
But they do talk about God and stuff.
They do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have this mix of Christians and Greek Orthodox. But here, the American spirit is more different than the other spirit. The American person has there's something in their psyche, something in their consciousness that when you speak the truth, you can kind of recognize it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. You can recognize it, but most of the people just run from it. You know, that's how I see it.
Over there?
Everybody is able to recognize the truth.
Oh, not because you're American? Good morning. Welcome to Fellowship. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you all for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will give me your question, pass on your questions and comments to me. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. And happy Father's Day, y'all. And good morning again. Good morning. Anybody here? Somebody's in the room for sure besides me. So I had surgery yesterday, Friday. That's why I had the patch on. And it's interesting, all right? So if I had worn shade, you couldn't see my eyes, so I thought, I'll just wear a patch. And that's why I have it. Anybody here for the first time? Nice. What's your name?
Steve.
And how'd you hear about us, Steve? Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. Take the mic, Steve.
Pardon me.
How'd
Yes,
you hear
the
about
Michael Malik show. And
Oh, yeah.
That's what I first heard. And
Right
then,
on. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Any questions or anything?
No, just the more I've been listening on YouTubes and different podcasts, the more clear it gets. Thinking evolves.
You like working on your life?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, stay with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And your first time here? What's your name? How did you hear about us?
Argelina.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank
And how did you hear about us?
Well, Celestial Lester. So I had
You
the
heard
honor
it from
to meet him.
Soleil?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He called you from the grave?
Well, I don't even think that he's
No.
dead.
Yeah.
But
He is dead, all right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't
She
know.
doesn't know your father? She just know he died? Oh. Oh,
Well, she meant spiritually, I think that's what she kind of.
oh, she meant spirit. Any questions about anything?
Not yet, but
Well, welcome.
we'll see. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody over here? I saw some hands. Okay, right here. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
Scott from YouTube.
Oh, welcome,
Yeah.
Scott.
Thanks.
Any questions?
No questions. No.
All right,
Yeah.
nice.
Then
Yes, sir.
Richard.
Richard from, I heard about you from Scott and YouTube.
Right on. Any questions?
I have a concern, I'm worried about something in my life.
In your life?
That's going to affect many people. My mother-in-law was killed. Pico and? Olympic. Lady driving 90 miles an hour. My mother-in-law
The
was
person was driving
91.
90 miles?
High on pills.
Yeah.
She's done this 25 years ago. She did the same thing.
Oh,
We're going through a trial.
your mother, the
Her
person
mom, 91, lived by
got
herself.
hit by someone that
by
was
some-
driving that
somebody
fast.
going-
Oh, okay.
And she's being tried for murder. And I'm hoping for something positive to happen out of that.
Out of that?
I think we can't bring her back. I know that.
If you could, would you?
Tomorrow.
You would bring her back? Even though she would raise a lot of hell?
She didn't, my mother-in-law didn't.
She was a nice lady?
No, she was the nicest lady in the world.
Wow.
She would call me. I live in the valley. She would call me to flies in her house just to help her. She didn't want to kill them.
Right on. And
You
so
know?
what are you worried about?
That if I don't get the right results, something might happen.
What result do you want?
I expect jail. I expect jail time.
Yeah.
And the way things are in this city,
I know.
nobody goes to jail. I'll
Yeah.
go to jail.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, don't worry. Just have a wait and see and let God take care of it.
I hope so.
Yeah. The young lady behind you, this your first time?
Yes.
And what's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Perla, and this is my son, and I heard about you through my son,
Right on.
and this is his family.
Oh, that's his family? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Nice. Did your son forgive you?
I don't know. Does he? That's a good
You don't know?
question. I think so. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
hold on. Don't speak for it. Let her speak by herself. He forgave you?
Yes.
He went to you and forgave you?
I think so.
Tell the
yes,
father
yes.
don't speak for him. Anybody.
What's that?
I want you to talk, not them.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, he forgave me.
He went to you?
Yes.
You remember when?
I asked him because when I listened to a few of your podcasts, and so I asked him, and he said yes. He
Right
said,
on.
We don't even need to
Nice.
discuss it. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Okay.
No questions.
Let me talk to the young lady right next to you.
Oh, this.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Olivia,
How old are you, Olivia?
10.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Good. Do you get angry sometimes?
If my sister does something that I don't like, I tend to get angry a little.
And how do you deal with it when she makes you angry? How do you deal with it?
I try to calm down and talk to her about it or
Right.
whatever's making me upset.
That's right. Yeah, don't let anger pass. Speak up, but don't be angry, all right? Nice. And let me talk to the young lady. What's your name?
Paige,
Paige. Nice name, too. And how old are you, Paige?
10.
10. Do you irritate your sister sometimes? You do?
I mean,
What?
I would say the same thing as she said.
Amazing. Well, welcome. Don't get angry. If you get angry, you're going to grow up and be like old people. You're going to be unhappy. You want to be happy
Yeah.
when you grow up? You want to still be happy when you grow up?
Yeah.
Well, don't get angry. Anger is not good.
Okay.
All right? Speak up, but don't get angry, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Nice. Right here. What's your name?
Jamie.
Jamie, how did you hear about us?
My husband,
Right on. Do you obey your husband?
for the most part. There are times I struggle with it. You know, it's a discussion we have.
It's a discussion.
Yes, how
So
we
do-
get there.
Do you obey him?
90% of the time.
And so do you obey your husband?
So I guess that would be no, not all the time.
And why not?
I think sometimes it's a struggle between, are we a partnership at times, or is it just like I have to listen to everything you say? You know, I don't know. It's like this feeling like I have a say in it.
You like to feel like you have a say in it? Mm-hmm. And why?
I mean, it's mostly when it comes to the kids, because they're, you know, they're our kids.
Right. You can, there's nothing wrong with having a say in thing, but the final word is on him. Do you accept that?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you accept that the final word is up to him?
The final word, yeah. I am almost there.
I understand. I totally understand.
Yeah.
And what is keeping you from going all the way to 100%?
I don't know. I think it's just been a process for us to get there. And I think it's just, you know, we're still working on it. Maybe I don't know if it's a trust piece of it, and just making sure that he understands my point as well before we get to the final word. Not that it's just I say it and you do it. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but this is still what I say or what I feel.
Did you promise to obey him when you married him, like during the marriage ceremony? Were you like, you know how you make the vow thing? And did you promise God to love and obey?
Yes, but doesn't the husband say that too?
No.
I don't remember, to be
The
honest.
husband shouldn't say that. Did you say that to God though during the ceremony? I promise to love and obey.
I'm going to assume I did, yes.
Were you lying? Were you playing?
No, no.
Did you mean it?
I do, yes.
Do you want to go 100% and just obey him and let all be well?
I do, yes.
Want me to tell you how?
Sure.
Drop your ego.
Okay.
Let it all die. Let it go. And then just obey him. And you'll be fine. Because he's working on himself too, right?
Yeah,
Right
he
on.
is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any question about anything?
No,
Nice. Have you let go all your anger?
mostly.
What?
I mean, there are times when in the moment, you know, I get angry about something, but I would say I'm much better about letting that go.
And why not just drop it, period, never get angry again? Why don't you just drop it?
I think it's just maybe sometimes a natural emotion that just comes up.
You think anger is a natural emotion?
I don't know if I'd say angry. I think I get frustrated. Is that the same thing? I don't
Yes.
know. Same thing.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same spirit.
Yeah.
Do you think anger is a natural emotion?
Partly, yeah. I
And
don't
what's
know.
natural about it?
I think it's just something that humans, I don't know, that it just comes to you, and it's maybe how you deal with it from there. If you can let it go quicker, maybe it happen, you feel it, but then you have to let it go.
But it's an evil spirit that made a home in you. It's not you. So you still believe it's natural? Because it hurts the kids, like when you're impatient with them. And that's destroying them. It doesn't feel like love to the kids. If it were natural, it would feel like love, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so, do you like hurting the kids with your anger?
no,
And so you can't help it until you overcome it.
yeah.
Did your husband tell you how to overcome it?
Specifically, I mean, I think he says let the thought, come in and let it go. It's a thought.
Yeah. I want you to know for sure that anger is pure evil. And that's why God changed our heart, those who want to change, from anger to love, because you can't even enter into the kingdom unless you get rid of anger first, because anger is pure evil. And I would suggest you let it go. 'Cause I know a lot of human beings who it's natural for human beings to have anger because human beings are of their father, the devil. Anyone that has anger is evil. There's no love. So you got to forgive your mother. You became like your mother.
Okay.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Do you like being like your mother?
in some ways. not
What?
all. I
Not
said
all?
some ways, not all.
And do you tell her how to back off?
I do sometimes.
And she keep coming back?
No, I mean, we're very close. I just noticed
You
some.
close to your mother?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want that. And so did your husband tell you to forgive your mother?
I don't think we've ever really had that conversation.
Oh,
No?
why you didn't tell her? No wonder you're not obeying him. Why you didn't tell her to, can you get the mic over here?
Yeah, I think I've talked to her a little bit about that, like a long time ago. I've definitely come a long way. I was definitely emotional. I didn't let the thoughts go. But maybe I should have reinforced that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to forgive your mother before you can be you. Because if you don't, you're going to be your mother, and you won't be able to help yourself but to do to your children what your mother has done to you. Mm-hmm. She recreated you her image. You're not yourself yet. You don't even know who that is until you forgive your mother. Okay. What do you think about that?
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, so you just go to because as you can't help yourself, your mother could not help herself, right? Mm-hmm. Go to her and say, hey, once you see it, I'm sorry for resenting you, and I realize now you can't help yourself, and God will forgive you. Don't ask the mother for forgiveness. Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Yeah.
When you were growing up and you would ask your father to help you deal with your mother, what would he say?
I don't know if I ever asked my dad to help me.
Why not?
With anything. My mom was always the one around. And not to say my dad wasn't around, but he worked a lot. My mom took care of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, forgive him. He couldn't handle your mother. That's why he stayed at work. He didn't know how to deal with her. So just forgive, and I promise you, if you truly see it, you will change. Mm-hmm. And you will be you, and then you will pass on love to the children and your husband, everyone, without anger. That will be taken away from you. That makes sense a little bit?
It does.
Do you
Yeah.
disagree with any of that? Mm-mm. Any question about it?
No.
Is your husband beta or alpha?
He used to be a beta. He is now an alpha.
Nice. Amazing. And you're going to be an alpha girl when you forgive. Mm-hmm. All right? I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Thank you. Me too.
You're welcome. Anybody else first time? Okay, for those who came in late, I have a patch. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I had surgery on Friday for my eye, a little work done to my eye there, so that's what that is. Did anyone do the assignment this week? 1, 2, only 2 people. Isn't that sad? Only 2 did the assignment. Who was here last Sunday? And only 2 did the assignment. Raymond, what did you get from the assignment? You say you did it. What was the assignment?
Find out which is dumber, men or women.
That's not the assignment, buddy. So we're down to 1. 1,000 came to hear Jesus speak, and only 1 heard the message. What was the assignment for last week?
To pay attention to
To what?
The demons.
No. Wow. Only 1 did the assignment, and she wasn't here. That wasn't the assignment.
Was the assignment, what are you trying to win? Is that?
No, that was the biblical question last
okay.
week.
Then no, I'm out as well.
Oh, okay. What a mess. You didn't do that? Were you here last week? Oh. Did you do the assignment, Nick? The anchor baby?
That is the assignment. The demons inside.
No.
Watch the demons.
No. Wow. Do you remember the assignment? That's my new PR guy. That's Montel.
No, I thought the same.
Wow. Hey, did you do the assignment? This is the hate news, not the fake news. Let's hear the real truth.
I did not, but I do have notes on what it was.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't To be fair, it wasn't totally clear that it was an assignment. It was advice, but you didn't call it an assignment that I recall.
Did you do the advice?
I don't think I did.
He has the note on it. Francisco, did you do it?
No.
How about you, Hassan? Hassan?
I want to say yes so bad and no, I didn't.
Wow. Why do you come to these meetings?
I come to hear the truth because most people aren't telling the truth. So, and to, fellowship.
Did you do the assignment?
No, I did not.
The young lady behind you, dying to tell me. In the black, yeah. Did you do the assignment?
No.
Why do you come to the meetings?
To get to know myself better.
And doesn't the assignment help to do that?
Yes, but I was not in church and I did not listen on the live stream. So.
Amazing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Next week's assignment is everyone have to wear a patch. The young lady way in the back. Why do you come? Is this your first time here?
This is my first time here.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you.
What's your name? How did you hear about us?
Portia, Fred.
Right on. That's Frederick? Oh, hey, Frederick. Okay. Well, I won't yell at you. The young man in the red shirt. Right here, purple shirt. Did you do the assignment?
I wasn't too clear on what it was, but I did watch The Demons. I did watch my thoughts, so I don't know if that helps.
Well, that's helped to do that, but that's not the assignment. Why do you come to the meetings?
To understand what I'm going through, honestly. Yeah, to understand what I'm going through. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't here, but...
Take the mic for
Sorry.
me.
Well, I wasn't here, but maybe you just told them just to sit quiet instead of watching their demons?
Not quite, but you're close.
Okay.
Why do you come to meetings, these meetings? Oh, this is your first time, huh?
Yeah, it's my first time here, but I've been sitting quiet for a long time.
Right on.
Yeah, so that's it.
Why do you come to the meetings?
Appreciate
it. For the comedy.
For the comedy?
The comedy.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, and I do work on myself, and that's, I think, what I take from it. And although you always have these assignments, and I don't specifically do them, but I do it. So whatever the assignment was, I'm sure I did it. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, amazing. This young lady right here. Why do you come to the meetings?
To get to know myself, to work on myself.
Amazing. The assignment was to leave a blank space. When the devil talks to you, you know how you get upset about something, or you have old memories, or you remember something, whatever, and thoughts come, and I tell you, instead of filling that in, to leave it blank, so God can save you. Instead of like, for example, someone makes you mad, and you get mad real quick, and then you say, oh, they made me mad, and they did it because of this or that. But if you didn't do that, just realize that you are angry, but don't respond at all, leave a blank space there, that God can come in and save you from it. He will destroy it from you. Remember that? Anybody remember that? 2 people. You remember that? Did you know that that was the assignment?
I don't, well, honestly, I'm like an A+ student, so I think that there was a miscommunication there because I wasn't clear that that was an assignment.
But
Having
you
said
remember
that,
talking about it though? Leave a blank space rather than...
I do, and that's something I do anyway. As I was watching myself this week, that's something I do anyway. That's a part of overcoming.
And what do you do exactly?
To not respond in those moments that I would that I would like to, where I'm itching, like I was referencing driving, being in the passenger seat with my husband and being that backseat driver and just tasking myself to just be still and be silent and not say anything. And it takes so much restraint for me to not say anything.
Yeah.
But that's part of what
So
you're
you,
talking
you don't
about.
you don't have one conversation after another one about whatever you're feeling at the moment.
I don't, because I practice. You know, it's practice, but no, I don't, because I know that that's the devil.
Yeah.
I know that every single solitary thought, I'm very clear on the fact that that is the devil all the time. There are no exceptions to that. And I've tested it out both ways, and just applying the principles that you talk about every Sunday, I've tested it out, and I know it to be true for myself.
I want to encourage, if you didn't do it last week, pay attention to it this week. You know how you get mad or you get frustrated at work about something, or your husband makes you mad? Instead of arguing about it in your head, you realize that you're angry, you feel anger. But don't talk about it. Don't let another thought come and fill in the blank. Just leave the space there so God can save you from it. I want to encourage you all to do that. It's amazing because God wants to save you from the hell that you're in. But He can't save you if you're going to answer to your own hell. If you're going to communicate with the devil, then He can't save you from it. So everybody give that a try, right? If you want to have a good life, because the more you work on your life, there are things you're going to discover that's going to blow your mind. You really are free people. You just don't know who you are at this point. You just don't know. So you're on your way back home to the Father. You're working your way back now, and as you get closer to the Father, you start to remember. But you got to work on yourself. You got to work on this if you want to be free. So let's deal with the week before last biblical question. What was it? So he brought, because we didn't deal with it last week.
What are you trying to win?
Yes.
I believe.
And what are you trying to win?
I was thinking about that this week, and I think a lot over the last few months I've really tried to relinquish that and not try and like set these sort of goals of like what I need to reach or what I need to do, but just sort of let things unfold, because as we've talked about here a million times, I feel like I've tried to play God for so long, and I've just realized that's not getting me where I feel like maybe I want to go. And when I do just sort of relinquish that control and stop saying like, oh, I need to get married by this point. Like, why don't I have kids? Like all these things when I look around and everybody has this, and this. And so I don't know, I think I'm no longer trying to win anything, but just sort of living life.
And what is it, how does that feel to you to just live life without trying to win anything?
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And who is, this week, biblical question while we're here, who is dumber, men or women? Isn't that an amazing question? Who's dumber?
I kind of feel like maybe it's a trick question, but as a single woman in my mid-30s, I want to say men. But I only say that just because I feel like men have really lost their way, where, you know, even just as we were opening this up with the family over here of like, do you obey your husband? And I think for me, that's kind of why I'm not married, is because I haven't really met that man where I say like, oh, I would be okay trusting you blindly. Yeah. And when the more I kind of go out into the dating pool, it's just like, oh, this is really scary out here of just how lost it seems so many men are, and they're not really willing to step up and like be those true providers and really guide and not manipulate or mislead or do some of those maybe sneaky or shady kind of things.
So you say men are dumber?
I mean, like I said, I think it's a trick question, but I'm going to go for men.
How's a trick question?
I don't know. I don't really think either people are like dumb or smart.
Really?
You know? I don't think you can say like one sex or one gender is just this or that. I think there's always good in each. There's always a little bit of bad in each, and we kind of complement each other in that regard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The young man behind you want to respond. Who is dumber, men or women? You had all week to think about it.
Women, what's that?
You said women?
Women, Well, men are dumber because we listen to women.
So is it women dumber or men are dumber?
That's the trick part, I think, that she was talking about.
I'm sorry?
I think that's the tricky part that she was maybe talking
And
about.
so who do you say are dumber, men or women?
Women.
And why do you say women? He said it really low. He said women. In case the lady missed it. And why do you say ladies, women?
The book says they're supposed to obey and we're supposed to lead, right?
But the book didn't say they were dumber.
It's a trick question. I think
Another trick.
Men are dumber because they listen to women.
So not men, not women?
I guess men, I would say.
So you're saying men are dumber than women?
Sure. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
And why do you say men?
Because they listen to the women.
Amazing. That's it?
That's it.
Okay. The young man right next to you want to respond. Who are dumber, men or women?
I think men.
And why do you say men?
Because they should know better.
No better than what?
I mean, we're supposed to be the leaders. And if we can't lead, then women can't follow.
And why don't you lead?
Again, just they don't know any better. They're not aware. They don't know themselves.
Do you lead?
I'm not in a relationship.
Do you have to be in a relationship to lead?
No.
So do you lead?
Sure.
You do lead.
At work,
And so are you dumber or one of the smart guys?
I don't know. That's not for me to say.
It's not for you to say?
Yeah.
Let's ask this lady here. No, I'm playing. What are you trying to win? Last week, biblical question. What are you trying to win?
I'm pausing because I can't think of anything. I'm just living my life and going where God leads, I think.
I'm sorry?
I'm just living my life and going where God leads, I think.
Okay. So you're not trying to win anything?
No.
Oh, okay. Amazing. The two young ladies in the back want to respond. And then I think I saw your hand, right? Yes. Who is dumber, men or women?
My English is not so good. I think women.
You think women are dumber?
Yes.
And why do you say women?
I can explain it.
You can't explain it?
No.
You just know that the women are dumb?
Yes.
But you don't know why?
I know, but I don't know how to.
You don't know how to what?
To explain it.
You don't know how to explain it?
No.
Oh, you speak English? Habla English?
I'm Greek.
About Greek?
I'm Greek.
Oh. Anybody speak Greek? Oh, are all you guys together? Oh, okay, I see now. Help her to explain why women are dumber. Okay, tell her and she'll tell us.
Well, she says that she cannot really explain that. Like it's like a feeling that she has about it.
Oh, okay.
So as a
Oh, okay.
translator, I cannot step in.
I got you. Okay. Amazing. What are you asking? What is she trying to win?
Προσπαθείς να κερδίσεις κάτι? No, she's
You're
not.
not? Okay. Amazing. Nice. Well, welcome. The young lady in the white. This your first time? Is this her first time here too? This your first time here?
Me?
Uh-huh.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, in the white. Who is dumber, men or women?
I gotta say this is a weird question because I went to the dictionary to define dumb, and I think by definition, just it being more of like saying less, I would say men, but my opinion on...
You say by definition it says men are dumber?
It just says it's like more silent, like basically describing a mute person. And then it actually went on
when
to
you
say,
looked it up, it said men are dumber.
No, but I think like who said, I think in the term of like maybe saying less, I would say men, but then it also said something about how North America has taken on the word dumb and uses it as the word stupid. I just think women are emotional, and for that reason, I'm going to say dumb.
So you're saying women are dumber than men?
Yeah.
And why do you say that?
Because they're emotional.
Emotional?
Yeah.
And what are you trying to win? Last week, biblical question.
Yeah, currently right now, I'm not trying to win anything. I think I've spent the last year allowing my ego just to fall apart, and I don't care to win anything anymore.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah. Right here. I saw your hand, right? Who's dumber, men or women?
It has to do with the spiritual aspect more. Men are suckers for women's love, I would say. And women know it too from the beginning.
And what?
And they give in to the man, speaking. So it's responsibilities. It's on both of them, the responsibility.
But the question is, who is dumber, men or women?
Dumber in the spiritual aspect.
I would say spiritual aspect.
I would say it's women. I would say it's women.
Women are dumber than men?
Yes, but it's the fault of a man because the man is supposed to lead the way. He's supposed to. Women naturally are born in their own hell.
So you blame the men that the women are dumb?
And yes, because
how are men responsible for a woman?
Because a man he's supposed to bring the woman out of her hell. He is supposed to be the example and love her without the ego love.
And so who is dumber?
So I would say women are more dumb.
Who is dumber, men or women?
Women.
Women. And why do you say women?
Because men give in to them, they give in. But the problem is, I would say, is women, naturally speaking, they don't have the connection to God like how men do. So even the worst kind of a man has a connection with God because of the masculine aspect of that man.
I don't quite understand what you're saying. Let's go back to the simple question.
Yes.
Who is dumber, men or women?
Women.
And why do you say women?
Because men are supposed to lead, and they're not leading right now. And the women are just going
crazy. Would the man be dumber then if he's not leading?
Yeah, I would say
so is the man dumber than the woman?
It's both.
They can't be the same, dummy.
Sort of. It can sort of be the same. So
who is dumber, men or women?
Women.
And are you sure?
Yes.
And why you say women?
I think I responded to the question, but I would say on the spiritual form, man has a different connection with God, even if he's not his best self. He has a spiritual connection towards God, even the worst kind of man towards women.
But I didn't ask you about the spirit. I asked who is dumber.
Yeah. I would say
who is dumber?
Women.
And why women?
Well, because women they're living in their own hell right now. You see, not enough men are leading the way for women to get out of their own hell. So if you put it that way, but if you put it that way out, it's men. But in the aspect of putting both together, I would say it's women.
So who's dumber?
Women.
I'm sorry?
Women.
And why women?
Women, and for some reason, I know I'm going back and forth with the same question.
Right.
But men.
Why are you going back and forth with it rather than answer the question?
I think I'm answering in a pretty decent way,
But I didn't ask that way.
Okay.
He tried to put the spirit in there.
Not so much. I think I think the most frame is the spiritual aspect between men and women.
Who is dumber, men or women?
Women.
And why women?
Because women are not connected and with unique men, decent men enough, and they're going crazy because they're not spiritually connected with the man. It's the man's fault. The fault is always man.
Women are not suffering because they are not spiritually connected to a man. They're suffering because they have not returned to the Father.
Yes.
The same as a man, because a woman has to do the same thing that a man has to do to return to the Father. She must go and forgive her mother. She must forgive her
Yes,
father.
but the love
her
comes
father.
through a man. The love.
And then God will shine the same light on her that He's shining on the man. He will not treat, because a lot of women are not going to have men.
Yes, but what I mean though, it's most women have a wrong relationship towards men, and for that outcome, that result is for them not being able to have the connection towards God because they have a hatred towards men. So I'm just going back to the question that it's the fault is man. The fault is man. The result is man because of women being dumber. It's always the man's fault. But
Really? How many people think that it's the man's fault that the women are dumber?
Yes.
Only 3-4 people think that? Okay. You think that, let me take the mic to her. See, you're not going to answer the question, who's dumber? You think that it's the man's fault that women are dumber than men? Do you say women are dumber or men?
I didn't say anything actually about it, but I don't have
Who is dumber, men or women?
I don't know.
I'm sorry?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
And do you think it's the man's fault that the women can't find
If
a
we
mess
use
up?
instead of dumber to say weaker, yes, I would say men unfortunately are weaker.
Really? So you think that it's the man's fault that the women are weaker?
Yeah.
And why do you think that?
Well, I have been raised in an environment with a lot of men, and I can say, thank God, actually, my father had the power in the household.
Who? You're who?
Sorry?
Please speak up for me.
Yes, so I said I grew up in a household with a lot of men, and thank God my father was, let's say, the power of the household. And growing up, even though he was not there 100% because he was a workaholic, but in a good way, workaholic, he was always there at the same time.
Right.
And he was, even today, like he's protecting me, being discreet about like my nature, pointing out like the good and the bad things. But in this lifetime, I could see that every fault in our household, it was actually out of my father's weakness.
Did you grow up closer to your father or your mother?
Well, growing up closer to my father, but actually to both of them. Like I believe that I'm in a good path, like with them, and I'm just glad that my father is actually alive, and I could have said all the things that I've said to him, good and bad.
Right on.
And I'm very lucky that my father has the nature that he has till today.
Nice.
And he still protects me from my mother's attachment that because I'm the only girl in the house and I'm the youngest one, so she's too attached.
Right on.
Yeah.
Who right here? Who's dumber, men or women?
I don't know if I have an answer to that. I don't know. I think people are different in general. Some women are probably dumber than men. Some men might be dumber than other women.
And who is dumber, men or women?
If I have to answer, I'd say men.
And why you say men?
Women procreate. They keep the race going. I think there's a reason for that.
And what's the reason?
I think, like she was saying, I think men are weaker, can be weaker.
And so you're saying men are weak, dumber than women. And how are men dumber than women? This is such a fun question.
I don't know.
It's so difficult, yet it's so easy. Yes. You say men are dumber than
think-
women.
I think they are more influenced by
Who?
other people.
Men,
Men.
they're more influenced
Mm-hmm.
by other people? Meaning what?
I don't think they're as strong-willed. Maybe.
Why are you looking at your husband?
Because he looked back at me. He made a face.
And so you think men are dumber than women because they don't have a strong will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What are you trying to win?
I don't think I'm trying to win anything.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So in life, you're not trying to win anything? Nice.
Mm-mm.
Okay. This young man want to respond. Who is dumber, men or women?
IQ has nothing to do with gender.
IQ?
IQ. I've been a
I didn't
teacher.
ask about Ice Cube. I asked who is dumber, men or women?
I've been teaching for 50 years, and I've had some dumb girls and some dumb boys
And
for
so
50
who is
years.
dumber, men or women?
I don't think you can answer that. They're not.
Oh, you can't answer that?
No.
I thought
It's
you were about to
impossible.
answer it.
I don't think you can because it goes across the board. I have had, like I say, it comes in every year. I've had kids who are very smart and girls very smart. Some boys, what's going on here? So I don't think
Okay.
it's intelligence is not. It doesn't go to a gender. It goes to you have some smart boys, you have some smart girls. I don't know.
Amazing. The young man next to you, and then the young lady want to respond.
Yeah,
Who
it's
is dumber, men or women?
Yeah, it's one of those trick questions, but
A trick
I'd
question?
say equally dumb, but there's greater cost if the man is
Men
dumb.
and women are equally dumb?
Yeah.
Give me the example of men and women being equally dumb.
Just because it doesn't lean either way. There's no example that comes to mind.
Really?
Yeah.
So why do you be thinking that in your head? When you deal with women, you be thinking about how dumb women are.
Why would I think that?
Why do you think that at times, especially when you're at work?
Like, what? Wait, why do I think that
Women are dumber.
women are? I don't.
You don't think that?
No.
You think men are dumber at work?
I don't think that there's either way.
Oh, okay.
But it's just you have to add another dimension.
You think
if
they're
you wanna-
equally dumb?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Amazing.
just the cost, I guess. You have to add another dimension if you think, what if the men don't are dumb, then they're not leading, they're not in the light, then that's the greater cost.
Okay. I mean, the young lady.
If I may.
Yeah.
If I may. Is this on? Yeah. I take back what I said. Women are dumber than we are.
What?
Well, women are dumber than we are. They put up with us, the things we come up with.
Women are dumber
they're
than men?
Yeah, because they tolerate some of the stuff that we do.
So you're saying
That's
women?
what I believe.
You're saying women are dumber than men because they tolerate?
In certain cases,
because they
when they
tolerate men?
stuff that some of the guys do to them.
And so how is your wife dumber than you?
Just not. I've been married 38 years.
How
and-
is she dumber than you?
No, she's not. She's actually smarter than me, I think. You know what
So
I mean?
your wife is smarter than you?
I believe so. If it took
And
a
it's
test,
because
yes.
she put up with stuff from you?
She does. She
Yeah,
has.
like what, for an example?
Well, I don't want to get into details because I don't want to go to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Amazing.
I know Francisco, by the way. I know Francisco for 20 years.
Oh, you
I
have?
saw him here today after 20 years.
Really?
We're salsa dancers. And I walk into the
Oh,
there
no
he is.
wonder.
Small world.
Really?
Look at that.
A small world, huh?
Small world it
Right
is.
on. You still salsa dance?
Yeah, we're salsa dancers. Well, and him too. We
I'm
dance
sorry?
all over the world.
Right on. Yeah, I knew it was very popular.
Very popular, very healthy, and it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
But
Who's dumber, men or women?
I think that there are, there's different intelligences. So, I mean, there's social intelligence, and so I think you can't compare it, like intellectual, that's I think what my husband was referring to, that's just straight IQ, but then there's social intelligence, like you can be like super smart, like in math and stuff, and then be really dumb socially. And I think that men are dumber. I think that they're maybe more controlled by ego and power, and that's their, as opposed to maybe women are more, have different ideas on social intelligence.
So you think men ego is
I think,
bigger than a woman ego? Greater than a
Yeah.
woman ego?
I think so.
You
I
think
think so
so?
because I think that they are more controlled by power. That's something that men strive for more than women, like power and wealth, or and out of necessity maybe. But I think so. Yes.
So you think that men struggle for power more than women do?
Oh yeah. Overall, I think so.
Really? And so why do women try to control men if they're not controlled more? They desire power more.
Why? Say that again.
Why do they try to control men if it's not for power?
I don't know if they're trying to control men or just not be controlled themselves. Maybe they don't want to be controlled. If they have their own way of thinking things, they don't agree that they need to follow that that it should be a partnership.
Do you obey your husband? Let me know.
Yeah.
When they go,
So yeah, I would say, I would say, 80%, less than 90%, 80%.
Do you obey your husband?
Okay. Yes. No. I don't.
You don't, and why not?
Like I said, I obey
Why not?
him. Because I also think that it should be a partnership, and that we both have valid points, and sometimes he's right, sometimes I'm right, and sometimes together we get to the right conclusion. And by we're both smart, or we might both be dumb. We might make a mistake, and together you get to the right answer.
And then God say it's a partnership, a husband and wife.
Well, I'm not religious, and I don't
Oh, you're not religious at
necessarily
all?
believe it. Yeah, I don't.
So you don't know about God?
Well, I know. I don't follow. Like I said,
You
I
don't follow God?
No, I don't follow God.
No wonder she doesn't follow you.
Yes.
Amazing.
Do you want to die?
Okay, I understand. The young lady, right here first, and then the young lady. Who is dumber, men or women?
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe I would say women, just because they let their emotions get to them, and they don't choose what's right because they let their emotions overcome them sometimes.
Amazing. And what are you trying to win in life?
I guess my fitness right now, I'm trying to get more physically fit.
Okay. Amazing. The young lady next to you, who is dumber, men or women?
It's a good question, because I could feel that I've been very triggered listening to the question.
It triggered you to hear it?
No, triggered.
Yeah.
To emotionally scream, man, or no.
Yeah.
And I really had to sit on my hands. And again, if I have a son, I don't want him to think that I believe that men are dumber, but I would say that women are very good at manipulating, and men are allowing themselves to be manipulated. And so I would say men are dumber, but it's also very dumb by us women to manipulate, because we crave men to be good leaders with no hate in their hearts, to lead this world, this country, our communities, the families. And we help weakening the men as well. But I see how, like, the need in my life and the space for men, like there is, like, if men would work on themselves, there is so much space to lead, and that feels extremely dumb to me, to not do what is needed and what is right.
So you're saying men are dumber or women?
Men.
Men are dumber. What are you trying to, last week, biblical question, the week before that, what are you trying to win? In life?
I guess right now what I've been battling with is to let go of my ego, and I can see the battle in my head. So what I'm trying to win, I guess, is to let go of that ego.
Why don't you just let it go?
In this very moment, I feel like I can, but when I don't observe my thoughts and I allow myself to, be deceived by my thoughts, or you like all of a sudden I'm emotional, I feel stressed, or yeah.
And so, and you're absolutely right about that, but knowing that, why not observe your thought at all times? Because the greatest sin is to forget to do that. Why don't you do it all the time, knowing that?
Well, I guess that's where this silent prayer comes in, and to every time you walk through a doorway, to observe that you're walking into a new room, and that's the daily practice, like in the morning, in the evening, but throughout the day.
And why don't you do it?
Because I've been lazy, and I come up with excuses. I work late. I'm tired. I have to go do this. I'm stressed. Excuses, really.
So you're not sick of being in hell?
Yeah, I mean.
Are you tired of your hell, living in hell?
Yeah, that's why, and I've been observing it with myself. So last night, for example, when I did the silent prayer, I could feel how I felt like I was coming back to myself, and I felt like I really didn't really have any problems. I felt very calm, peaceful.
But can you imagine living that way all the time if you were to stay present?
Yeah.
So why not do it? So you could walk out of this room a free lady.
Because I believe that even when a few weeks ago, when I did the silent prayer every morning, every night, I was very disciplined. That the thoughts and our emotions are very powerful, and it's easy to slip. And I guess, yeah.
But thoughts and emotions are not powerful at all.
Okay, they're powerful when we give them power.
Well, they're deceiving.
Yeah.
The devil deceives us. Pretend to be powerful or not. That's what I'm telling you. You can drop it right now and be free and never have to deal with it again.
Yeah, because I think like when you obsess over a problem, you're worshiping the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that
it's
is
all
the
for
practice.
the thrill.
Yeah, I mean, even when I feel I notice that I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed over whatever that is going on in my life, and I take a moment to sit with it, even if it's just for 1 minute. I'm like, oh, actually, there's just this illusion that I'm creating in my mind, in my head. Like there is no stress. Like all is well. Like there is. Okay, either I will be able to sort it or not, but there's nothing to worry about.
Knowing that though, and I'm trying to understand, why not commit to that? Why not put seeking what's right first by being present? Why not? Why don't you?
Because life, this lifestyle and being part of this world is asking a lot from us and from me, and
What is the world asking from you that you have to give it?
Pay my rent, all these things
well,
you have to do.
You're supposed to pay rent.
Do all these things.
You'll be homeless otherwise.
Yeah, but I think, and in this busy lifestyle, it's just sometimes easy or you go on the street and you encounter all these different kinds of people, and sometimes you're triggered by something.
But if you stay present, they could never do that to you because you would not let them into your world. You are your own world. And whatever is triggering you is because you're allowing it to be in your world.
Right.
Why not be aware so that can stop? Because no one else can get into your world if you don't let them in.
It's not like I don't want to. I think, and that's why you say stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, right? Yeah. It's just, it's a daily practice. It's a practice in every moment.
Yeah.
To do it, even when we speak here, and sometimes I'm always focusing because I'm always thinking, oh, he's gonna hand me the microphone at some point, and he's gonna say, ask her a question about what she was just talking about. But there is a moment when someone was speaking, and I slipped away.
Yeah.
And I thought, if you would ask me a question right now or what this person was speaking about, could I answer it? And I was like, no. I was like, okay, you're not present.
It's funny how you could be sitting right here in this room, we have an amazing meeting, but your mind could be somewhere else. And that's with the devil and not with God. And that's what the devil does. He keeps you away from present. He have to keep you in time, thinking about the past or the future, which does not exist, because he doesn't want you to be present with God. He doesn't want you to be right here, right now. And so you'll miss a lot in this room because your mind is somewhere else. And God is not into time. He's always present, not about time. So you got to practice. That's why I gave you these exercises, so you can practice keeping your mind with God, staying present.
Yeah, and to know what is right in the moment.
Right. And you will know that if you're present.
Yeah, then you will know what is right, and that will be the way forward.
But why don't you do it, though? That's what I'm not understanding.
Well, I guess it comes back to even the same thing that I know that smoking and drinking alcohol is not good for me. I still do it once in a while.
You smoke and drink?
Yes, I smoke
Ooh,
cigarettes,
party
I drink
over
cocktail.
here. No wonder you can't do your
And I
business
did it
smoking
last
and drinking.
night. Yeah,
But-
it's like I know it's really good for me to go to the gym. I still don't like. It's all these things that we know that are good for that I know are good for me. Even people in my life that I know that I should probably cut out.
Yeah.
And that's part of being human, right? And that's part of me getting to know myself and being really disciplined with it. And then I have maybe a month or a few weeks or a day where I slip, where I start to do it less frequently, and then I come back to it. And I
So
think
you're just not ready to be from your hell. You love your hell still. You
Well-
can't have heaven and hell. You only take one.
right, and I don't. I'm not. And I agree with you, and I acknowledge it with myself as well. And it's not like I'm coming up with excuses. I'm just
Right.
I see it. I'm not beating myself up for it, because
That's right.
you know, there's not. You know, I observe it, I see it, and I take notes, and I've been noticing it, and that's part of my own. Yeah, of course I could do it tonight. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Because I'm not going to promise something I'm not going to keep, but I'm going to aim to
Amazing.
do it tonight, and the day after that, and the day after that.
Amazing. Okay.
But yeah, and I think it's amazing because I've been asking myself the same question. You know, like, I know this is really good for me. Why don't I do it? I know this is going to help me do this. Why don't I do that? You know, and I think that's sometimes the struggle and the complexity of being human. Like, all these things that we know are either right and we don't do it, or sometimes even like obeying someone if you know that that is what is really trust, right? Because that's what obeying is trust.
Amazing. Okay. Well, just suffer until you're ready.
Yeah.
Because
Suffer and die.
Suffer and die. Because you could be free right now. You could leave this room free and never suffer again. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I understand. You smoke pot or cigarette?
Cigarettes.
Oh, I was going to ask for a joint. Right here, who's dumber? Who's dumber, men or women?
On the surface level, I'm just going to say women.
What do you mean by on the surface level?
I mean, if you just observe the world and yourself, you can see that women are controlled by they're consumed by their ego, their emotions, so they're less logical for the most part.
Amazing. And what are you trying to win?
Currently nothing, but I was trying to win against the demons that were in me. I was trying to win against my own ego. So
Amazing. Okay. I got to move a little faster, but I want to ask the young lady and the man in the white hat the same question. The young lady, who is dumber? She's her first time here, so this should be interesting. Who is dumber, men or women?
I would say, honestly, I feel like women probably are dumber than men.
And why you say that?
Just because I feel like in life, like, women do tend to follow the lead of weaker men, generally, because there is a shortage of strong men in the world these days, or at least in the community that I'm in. And if we're to follow in somebody's footsteps that are not leading in a direction that is going to lead us in a better direction, then I feel like as a whole, we're probably dumb for following in that instead of standing strong and being our own people and just being comfortable being either alone or stepping up and doing things different. So
Are you married?
I'm actually going through a divorce.
Oh, okay. Did you obey your husband?
No.
No wonder you're going through a divorce. And why didn't you obey your husband?
I was lost in myself. So
Meaning what?
I was really headstrong, and I felt that I had all the answers, and I wanted to lead, but I didn't know where I was going.
I understand. Amazing. And what are you trying to win? Trying to win?
Just in life, or?
Yes. Period.
I just want to get back on the right path, honestly. I'm just trying to collect the little wins where I go and, just be happy day to day for the little things that I have in my life.
And do you have anger?
I do.
You do. And if you want to get on the right path, why don't you drop the anger? Since anger is evil.
I tend to be controlled by emotions at times.
Right.
And so I'll turn that anger inwards and then I get depressed or, it's just a battle that I face every day.
Do you want to overcome the anger?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that it's abnormal for human beings to have anger?
No, not at all.
Or you think it's normal?
I think it is a normal human emotion.
And if it's normal, why does it work?
It's not that anger doesn't necessarily work. It's just the way that we express our anger at times that doesn't work. Because it's normal to get angry if you're, say, offended by something or you're wronged. It's I believe, okay to be angry about that. But when you lash out in either violence or screaming matches or something that's unhealthy for anybody around, that's when anger becomes a problem. But as
Can
a whole,
you give me an example of a normal state of anger?
No, I can't.
So then why are you saying that then?
Because ideally, I believe that that's a thing for maybe better people than me.
Better people than you?
Yes.
What do you mean? Who are better people than you?
Maybe people that control their emotions more effectively than I do. 'Cause
There's
I'm
not one
far from
person on
that.
earth that control anger better than you. They all control it the same.
You think so?
Yeah, because anger is evil.
Oh. So it's not a normal human emotion to feel angry?
No, it's not normal. It's abnormal. Do you think God made you to be angry?
I think God made me to be exactly the way I am, so I would have to say yes. He gave me all of my emotions.
Really?
Anger, sadness, joy, happiness, confusion,
So you
whatever.
think God has anger?
Yes.
And what is he angry about?
All the unrighteousness in the world.
You think God's angry at the unrighteousness?
Yes.
Not at all. He can care less.
Wow.
That's why he let human beings suffer in their unrighteousness. He's made the way for you to overcome it. But if you don't want to overcome it, you don't want to go through that door to overcome it, he'll leave you right in your unrighteousness, and he will let you destroy yourself, be destroyed by it. He will let you destroy your children. He will let your mama move into your house and destroy you. He will, and everything. God does not have anger, period. He has love. He's only of love, not of anger.
Okay.
Anyone that has anger is of their father, the devil. Anyone that has anger is evil. That's why anger doesn't work, because there's no love in it at all. It's an evil spirit. What do you think about that?
I think I'd like to pass the mic.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
I think I'd like to pass the mic.
And why?
I'm just feeling a little uncomfortable.
And why is it feeling uncomfortable?
Well, this is my first time, and I'm kind of on the spotlight
Well,
right
everybody else anger too. Look around, the whole room anger, except those who clearly. But human beings have been taught by the Christians and the Catholics and the Allah Abba people that anger is good, but anger is evil. That's a trick of the devil, and that's why each generation is suffering, because that anger is passed on from generation to generation, and no one is getting better, they're only getting worse. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
And so if it's good, should you see somebody getting better after a while?
I think people do get better after a while.
No.
Nobody gets better after a
Not
while?
with anger, I promise you that.
Well, not with anger, but just controlling their anger.
You can't control anger. Anger is a spirit. And we can't control anything. We're not in control of anything.
Oh, looks like she has
Yeah, I'll get to it in a minute. Just hold on, I'll let you have, I'm coming to you. What do you think about that?
I think that's great.
I'm
Still
sorry?
like to pass the mic.
Do you, if it is possible to drop anger and deal with life without anger, would you want that?
Yes.
You want me to tell you how to do it?
Sure.
You got to forgive your mother.
Okay.
Your mother has recreated you her image. You're not yourself. And when you were a little girl, she imposed her will on you by being dominated or spoiling you or playing victim. She pretended that your father was a victimizer so you can identify with her. But if she was the victimizer, your father couldn't handle her. You got to forgive your mother. So God said that before you enter into the kingdom of heaven and live this way, you must go and forgive. You got to forgive your mother so you can become yourself again. She destroyed you when you were a little girl. And you don't even know who you are.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
That's that I don't feel like that actually applies to me. I wasn't raised by my mother, and that wasn't the case in my home.
Who raised you?
My grandmother.
And where was your mother?
She was out gallivanting in the streets.
Have you forgiven her for that?
Yes.
You went to her and told her?
I didn't have the chance. She passed away before I did, but there was a time where I did come to forgive her fully.
Well, forgive her. She has the reason she's out gabbling around, she hated her mother. And you were raised by the same mother that raised her. And what your grandmother did to you, she did to your mother. Whomever raised you, right? Forgive the person. Forgive your mother for not being able to be there for you. She couldn't help herself. And forgive the person that raised you. They couldn't help it. I promise you, you'll go free.
Well, the woman that raised me wasn't the same woman that raised my mother. She was her mother, but she had changed her life. And
So where do you think your anger came from? Where did it come from?
I'm not sure.
Well, I want you to do, we have the silent prayer. I want you to do that so you can see where your anger comes from. And I promise you, you're going to see that it started with your mother.
Okay. Thank you.
All right? And have you forgiven your father for not being there for you?
Yes.
You told him?
Yes.
And what did he say when you went to him?
He said thank you.
Yeah.
He
Forgive
blamed
your mother
everything
too.
on my mother.
Forgive your mother too, all right?
Okay.
But see it for yourself so you can know what I'm talking about. Don't do it just because I said it. You got to see for yourself. And then when you forgive, God will forgive you and make you free.
Okay.
And you're going to see that it's abnormal to live with anger. Anger is of your father, the devil. It's not of God at all. God does not judge. God does not hold anything against you. God does not, he sent his son so you can be free. Why would he send his son to make you free and all your sins have been forgiven? And then why would he turn around and make you suffer if he made you free? That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So do the silent, do you pray?
I do.
You do the hoop and holler prayer?
No, I don't do all that.
You do the silent prayer?
Yes.
Okay, give her that, Nick. So you start doing that. All right? And you're going to see.
Okay, thank you.
You will overcome the anger. I promise you if you work on it.
Okay.
All right? This young lady had her hand. Yes, ma'am.
Back to the question, like, who is dumber, men or women?
Yes.
So I think that, like, there's different types of, like, smart. Like, you can be smart at math, but, like, you can be smart at, like, making the right choices. So, I think men can be smart in one way, and also women can be smart in another way.
You think, I understand the thing about math. I'm not talking about that. But in making good decisions, you think that women make better decisions than men, or men make better decisions? How old are you again?
10.
I love you. You are smart. So who made better decision, men or women?
I don't know actually.
You don't know? Who made better decision between your father and mother? So what? Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's best to stay safe right now, huh? Well, right on. But I'm not. I understand the math thing and all that, but I'm talking about making better decisions in life. Who make the best decision, men or women? So I'm glad you broke that down for me. Nice. Yes, Raymond. And then I gotta move on. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
This is so much fun, huh? Are you guys having fun or just me? Yes, Raymond. Who's dumber, men or women? I saw your hair, right, Raymond?
Yes.
Okay. Who's dumber, men or women?
Men.
And why you say men?
Because they don't want to be smart.
What do you mean they don't want to be smart?
In order to be smart, they have to accept the responsibility that they're dumb in the first place.
Oh. Okay. That's settled it. The young man in the white hat, who is dumber, men or women?
I don't pick sides, Jesse. But at the same time, today I have to pick sides. I'm going to say men are dumber for the simple fact they created this religion that puts women in charge of our kids. We can't be smart.
They created what now?
Women over the
They
kids.
created.
No, the women shouldn't be, I mean, the men
What do you
should
mean
be
by,
over
you saying
the
man
family.
created women, man created
The power
religion?
structure.
I don't quite understand.
You say the man's over the woman and the woman's over the kids, right? The woman's messing the kids up. The man needs to be over the woman and kids at the same time. Is how it should be. Because they fight and they wait till daddy come home, and the woman knows no better. So you putting her over the kids, just raising another monster, and that's the whole problem that we keep having today anyway.
So you're saying men are dumber?
Yes.
Because they create a religion that put women in charge of kids.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
so okay.
Creating a perpetual cycle.
What are you trying to win?
I won. I'm done. I'm not trying to win anything. I'm
Anything.
retired. I live on the beach. I'm cool. I'm
All
not
right.
trying to win.
Amazing.
Yeah, here we go.
Did I hear you? You want to say something? Okay. Yes. Who is dumber, men or women?
I believe that, well, first of all, I love men. I'm a carbon copy of my dad. Oh, and happy Father's Day, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Love you. So I believe men are dumber, and this is based on one of the definitions, which is to lack good judgment. And the reason I say it is because men have allowed women to convince them to serve their God and turn away from the real God, which is why we see the downfall of the world, essentially.
Amazing.
So
And what are you trying to win in life?
nothing. I've already
Nothing?
won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a winner.
Amazing. Who is dumber, men or women?
Women.
And why do you say women?
Emotional and big egos.
Oh, okay. That's it. Amazing. Hassan, I see your hand? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Who's dumb? It's for the question, right?
Yeah.
Who's dumber, men or women?
Well, on the show last week, I got a lot of flack because I compared women to dogs and children. So I want to give some clarification. Women, because it seems to be a lot harder for them, like they're
So, let's get clear. Who are you saying dumber, men or
Women.
women? Women, okay.
because they try so hard to prove that they're not dumb. Men are a lot quicker to just be like, yeah, I'm dumb. And I think accepting that you're dumb is the key to being smart. So it's kind of like, it's interesting that the other question is paired with this. What are you trying to win? There's nothing to win. There's nothing to prove. And if you just accept that, you're dumb, that is the win. There's nothing to win,
Okay.
So.
Amazing. I want to go quickly to something, then we got to start ending here. Celeste made a statement that I asked how many of you believe that. And what did you say about, what did you say about men and women, and women need men spiritually
No,
or
I'm saying
something like that.
it's the fault of man that women are dumb.
And why?
Because men are the closer being towards God. They have the inner connection towards God. A man's consciousness, that's where you will find God, through the man's consciousness. And women, for some reason...
You sound just like your father. His voice sounds just like him. You look like him too.
And for some reason, men, they don't... The downfall of a civilization comes through freeing people from their consciousness, from their common sense. And men, that's what's happening now. Like what you see what's happening through the U.S., how the government is
Make
taking...
a long story short because of time.
Yes, yes.
So you say that it's men fault that women are dumber because women need men in
Yes.
order to
Yes.
be undumb.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the question.
Yes, Nick. Thank you. How many people agree with that? Okay, who don't agree with it? Okay, go ahead, Nick. Anchor baby.
Yeah, on that, I wanted to answer the question as well, but basically, on this like order thumping, you know, you're saying like the women are weaker because they're weaker and dumber because the men are weak. I hear that, and what gets me a little bit about that is that it feels like a little bit like blaming because it's what are the men supposed to do to lead the women? It's not something that they actually have to do to the women. It's something they have to have within themselves by example. And so the failure in the men is the failure within themselves, nothing they have to do with the women. So what's wrong with the women that they can't do it within themselves? So it's like some blaming, like, well, we're weak because the men are weak.
Oh,
Seems a
okay.
little bit like blaming. But on that,
And
men
who's
are
dumber,
dumber.
men or women?
I'd say men are dumber. Men are dumber because they listen. They'll listen to women. They'll just go along, just put up with evil and whatever. And on this whole dumb thing, they're dumber also in that, you know, like it says like be dumb. Like, doesn't the Bible say like be dumb? You know, I think about a dumb dad, like an evil person, like an evil man. I think about a weak person and they're dumb and aloof, maybe even like not even knowing what's going on. But an evil woman is cunning, manipulating. You see what I'm saying? So if you got an evil man, at least that's proof that even with the evil man, he's still better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's still like better. He's just gonna be just. And this whole like men are weak kind of thing when they say like, oh, the women are like they have more will. Oh, the men are dumber because they're more controlled by will and stuff like that. I would say like that's true, but I notice that women will judge that in men because they drink or because of lust, and they'll be like, look at how controlled they are, not realizing their whole ego, their own whole ego. Just look at when women have power. It's horrific.
Okay.
So men are dumber.
Amazing. Interesting. That's the anchor baby. You know what an anchor baby is? Who don't know? Oh, everybody. Oh, you don't know what an anchor baby is? No, I don't. His mother got pregnant across the border from the United States. And then just about a minute before he was ready to drop, she jumped across the border to to America, and had him, and she became a citizen. That's an anchor baby. He has his own show too, so tune in to his show right here. Amazing. So let me say this. That question about women needing men to find God, to make it short. How many people believe that? Women need men to find God. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the rest you, 5. And the rest you don't believe that? Who don't believe it? Why don't you believe it? Uh-huh.
I mean, I think anyone could find God through themselves. They don't need a man to do it. Because not everyone has a man in their life necessarily.
You're absolutely right. You don't need a man to find God, ladies. The problem with all human beings is that they resent their fathers. They've been turned away from their earthly fathers. And when you resent your earthly father, you're turned away from God. When your mother turned you away from your father, she turned you away from God and recreates you in her image. And the mother's image is evil. The mother image is of the devil, because Satan is the woman's God and the God above is the man God. And so all human beings, and most women don't know this, but all human beings who are born, all human beings are born through the woman. So that's how you were born into sin, because the mother recreates you in her image, take away your innocence and make you angry. The same spirit that's driving her is now driving you. And so you cannot love God and love the devil too, love evil. And so it's the mother. So as long as you're turned away from your father, you're never going to know God. That's why God said you got to forgive. If you can't love your earthly father, you cannot love God. Because how can you love God whom you never seen and hate your father who you have seen? And men represent God on earth. They're sons of God. They're the light of the world and the salt of the earth. And so, ladies, if you forgive your mothers, like men have to do, and forgive your mothers for turning you away from the Father, in return turning you away from God. You forgive your mothers, God will forgive you, and forgive your father for not protecting you from mother, because he got involved with the spirit in your mother is the same spirit in his mother, and you become attracted to what you hate. So the father does not know how to deal with his wife, because he didn't know how to deal with, the father does not know how to deal with his wife because he didn't know how to deal with his mother. His father never helped him forgive the mother. So as long as you love your earthly father, you can go, you don't need a man for that. But you gotta love your earthly father. And love means don't resent. Just forgive your father. They couldn't help it, your mother couldn't help it. She became like her mother. And once you love your earthly father, it's so easy to go right back to God. But you're not going to get to God until you forgive your father and mother. You don't need men, because men are lost too. The men have the exact problem that the women have. They are angry, they're emotional, they look to women to lead them. They are afraid to be honest and speak up to women because they're afraid of their mothers. And women, how are women going to look up to that? Women, you must do the same thing that men do, and that is to forgive your mother and father. Once you do that, and then learn to be still, stop all this hooping and hollering and carrying on praying and stuff like that, and you're going to see that when you forgive, truly forgive, the spirit of anger will be taken away from you. Because the spirit of anger is an evil spirit. There's no love in anger. Anger is pure wickedness. It has no love, because it's of your father, the devil. And the devil doesn't have love. The devil wants your soul, and he is pretending to be God. He say and act and think he's doing exactly what God's doing. And in your imagination, you're listening to the devil, calling it God. That's why God said that all thoughts are all lies all the time. All lies all the time about who you are, what you should be, what you should do, where you should go. It's all lies, the way you should feel. And I promise you, I absolutely promise you, when you get rid of the anger, fear will disappear, depression will disappear, suicidal thoughts will disappear, loneliness will disappear, this need that you have to have somebody. I don't know who is dumber, men or women, to be honest. The reason I asked the question because I didn't know. I bet y'all thought I knew, huh? You thought Jesse have an answer for this. No, I don't know who is dumber. Because when I counsel with people around the world every day, they all say the same thing. They all do the same thing. They all have the same problems. No different. And they all try to get something from one another. They're trying to get love. They're trying to get companionship. They're trying to get something. They're trying to fulfill loneliness. And you're not going to fulfill that through another human being. You got to overcome that. That's why marriages don't work. Because men and women are fighting for love. They're trying to get something from each other and neither have it to give. This is why you take this path, this straight and narrow path. You have to travel this path alone. You cannot travel with anyone else. You can't take your children. You can't take your mother, your father, your husband, your wife. You have to get on this path because most people don't want to work on themselves. They love their hell. And if you're on that path to coming back to the Father, if your husband is not, or your wife is not, or your friends are not, they're going to try to stop you because the darkness hates the light. And they're going to try to, all they get, your parents, mothers are turning children, families away from, when kids go to the mother and say, Mother, I forgive you for what you done, she get mad, not all but most, and she would go and build an army against the kid. Johnny Mae told me she hate me. She ain't all I've done for her. And she'll turn the whole family, and the family, because they're weak, they'll join forth with the mother and start a war against the kid. And like what you were saying about when husbands give in to wives, they have given up. They can't deal with the wife. And then they'll say, well, I have to go to my wife because my wife can't deal with me. And it's not as what she put up with. The woman don't put up with anything. She love your misery. She love for you to be miserable. Because they give her a false thrill. When a woman can make the man angry, she is getting a thrill from it. It feels good to make him angry. And then as soon as she gets him angry, she'll go and make him a good meal. Because now she has control over him. It's all about the thrill. And men who are mean to their wives, the same thing. This means I don't know who's dumber. And the men do this. I counsel with men right now. The wives have apologized for what they did. I'm sorry, I was wrong. And the man won't let her forget it. He's constantly reminding her what she did. Well, you did this, and you did that. He's all in his head making up stuff. And I'm like, why do you stay with him? Why don't you just leave? It's your world. You don't have to stay in that hell. Leave that hell alone. You're not obligated by God to stay in your hell. He made it so you can be free. And so you don't have to put up with it. Psychologically, you don't have to put up with it. Or physically, you don't have to put up with it. But men and women put up with each other hell. It doesn't even make sense, except that they love the thrill of the hell. You hear men and women say after the fight, everything else was good. They love the fight because it feels good later. That's a thrill. That's not love. You are created to be free. You are not created to be angry, emotional, lonely, suicidal thought, drug addicts and alcoholics and or anything. Christ came and he made us free. He said our sins have been forgiven. You're not even a sinner. The only salvation you have to do is from the heart. Forgive, then you can honor your parents in the right way. You don't have to take care of them. You don't have to have them over for dinner. Don't let them come over and destroy your marriage. That's why God said when a man get married, he should take his wife far away from her family and his, because I promise you, if you leave your wife next door to mama, mama gonna come and destroy it. If you leave your wife, both mama, his mama or her mother, if you leave your family next to your mother, she's gonna destroy the family, because she's jealous of the son with the wife. She hates that. And she'll do whatever she can to destroy her. You say, Mama, babysit for me today. And she will. Don't get the kids any apples today. Don't let them have apples. As soon as the mother leave the house, the grandmama going to say, here's an apple. Don't tell your mama. She's going to do to your children what she's done to you. But you must forgive, and you're going to live in the present, and you're going to see clearly, and you're going to be free because you're living in your world. The kingdom of heaven is within us. And so you don't need a man to overcome that. You just need to love the man, your father, meaning don't resent him. All human beings need, because you're not going to get to God as long as you resent your father. That turns you away from your father. And mothers will turn you away from your father. She will. Forgive her. She can't help it. Forgive your mother. And then you're back to God, because through your father you will go back to him. And don't let anyone do what you want, but don't let anyone ever do what you want, but don't let anyone ever again tell you that human nature, human anger is good. It's not. It is evil. That's why we have wars in the world. That's why the races are divided. Look how dumb it is to think that racism exists. But most people think racism exists. It doesn't even exist. It's a made-up lie. It's the hatred of the heart. And we're supposed to love. If you're of God, you love even your enemy. But people don't love one another. They hate one another because their hearts are wicked. Salvation is of the heart. And if you get rid of that anger, you're going to have perfect love. We come from God, and you're going to treat everybody the same. No matter what their race, male or female, there will be no different. No matter where you are or who you're in front of, you're going to be the same all the time because you're going to treat everybody the same, whether they're president or secretary. But you got to come out of your imagination. You're not going to come out until you forgive. All thoughts are all lies, all the time about anything. And last thing, for marriage couples, if the wife is working on herself and the husband is working on himself, there will be no war in the family. And you will have a marriage that will last until death do you part. Because you'll be one with the Father. You wouldn't be trying to get anything from her, and she would not be trying to get anything from you. The only reason wars are happening because you have hatred in your heart. Anger is evil. Anger is not good. Don't let a psychiatrist or psychologist tell you that. They'll take all your money and then they give you pills. And then they tell you this is normal. It is not normal to be angry. And once you drop that anger, you will never judge yourself or anyone else again. And in closing, you're neither a sinner nor a saint. You're neither right nor wrong. You're neither good nor evil. Evil is working through you until you're born again of the Father, and then good is working through you. You can only have one God. And God said, read that verse for me, hey, God, and then I'm closing. God said, do not trust an angry person. Anyone that has anger is a murderer. Anyone that has anger is is evil. Think about this. If God wanted you to have anger, why would he tell you not to trust an angry person? Why would he tell you that anger is evil, that an angry person is a murderer? They would turn on you just like that. I don't care who it is. Here's the verse I want you to hear.
1 John 3:15.
A little louder.
1 John 3:15. Anyone who hates his brother is a murderer, and you are well aware that no murderer has eternal life remaining in him.
You're not going to get in. That's why he said, before you enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must go and forgive first, because the darkness does not like the light. Forgive your parents, and then you can honor them in the right way. When they get old, if you don't want to be bothered with them, put them in an old folks home. You'll be fine. You won't feel guilty about it. And mama won't be able to say, oh, I had you. I did all my best for you. And you're going to put me in an old folks home. Yep, I'm putting you in an old folks home. That was your life. I didn't tell you to have me. You were supposed to take care of me. That was your job. I didn't make any promissory note in heaven that I'm going to take care of mama. So drop the anger. Anger is evil. You drop the anger by forgiving your parents first, and you'll be free. And do the silent prayer. Be still. All that hooping and hollering, oh, God, help me. Bless my mama, bless my daddy. Have mercy, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. All that crap. It's a waste of time. It's all ego prayer. It's nothing but vanity. He said to be still and know me. I already know your needs. I'll take care of you. You let go. The best thing you can do in your life today is let go, and he will take care of all your needs. He really will. And don't be in competition for anything. Don't try to win anything. You're already a winner. You just don't know it because you're living in your imagination. If you compete with someone in track and field or whatever, you go out there and do your best to win the game, but not to compete. You're going to win every time. Be your best at whatever you do, you can't lose. But don't compete, because all it does is bring stress and worry. It makes you feel less than. Yes, sir.
You ever feel angry?
Never. I never feel angry.
Never?
It was
Never.
when I went and forgave my mother, because I didn't know, like everybody else, I didn't know I resented my mother. My mother seemed to be a nice lady, Christian lady and a loving lady. She had a whole bunch of kids. And I didn't know that until I asked God to let me see, why am I so emotional? Why do I have fear? Why do I get angry at things? Why I used to date a lot, and every woman I date was just like mama. I'm like, how come I can deal with women? I didn't realize I was attracted to what I hated, so I did that. So when I went and forgave my mother and my father, he took the spirit of anger away 35 years ago. I've never felt anger again. I couldn't even do the work I'd do if I felt anger, because human hearts are evil and they hate the light and they come after you to destroy you. But I understand they can't help it. They can't see. Do you get angry sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you heard me say forgive your mother?
Yes, today.
Have you? Oh, just the first day?
Yeah, this is my first day here.
Oh, this is your first time here. Do you notice that you get irritated at your mother at times? You get angry at her?
Well, my mother's deceased, but I do get irritated at my father a lot.
Yeah. Forgive him. You got to go to him. He cannot help it. The same irritating that you're feeling, it's the same thing that he's feeling. The same spirit. He can't help it. So when you go and say, hey, I'm sorry for resenting you, I realize now you can't help yourself. Once you see it for good, you forgive him and God will forgive you. If he admit that he's done these things, fine. If he doesn't, fine. If he says he's wrong, fine. If he blames somebody else, whatever he does is on him. You forgive him, and I promise you God will take the spirit of anger away from you. Because anyone that has anger, judge. And judgment is hatred. Anyone that has hatred, playing God. How old were you when your mother expired?
8 years old.
8 years old? Oh, so you didn't know her that well?
I did know her pretty well, yeah.
How do you feel about her dying?
It was pretty devastating, but I've gotten over it over time, and I've coped pretty well, I would say.
Yeah. And so you were raised by your father from that point forward?
Yes, and my grandparents for a little while.
Oh, okay. Well, forgive them, all right? Because I'm telling you again, once you forgive them, the spirit of anger will be taken away from you. And then when you deal with the issues in life, they won't bother you. They'll just be issues outside of you. You won't have stress or anything. The stress will be on the outside but not inside, and you will have perfect peace, no matter what happens, all right?
Yeah.
And then do the silent prayer so you can be still and allow the truth to come in and take over. God wants to take over your life, but if you don't be still, he can't do it, all right? So forgive him and do the silent prayer. Any other question about that?
Nope.
All right. And the anger will be, and by you being young, you get over that anger now, man, you're going to have an amazing life. All right? Nice. Any question about any of this? Would anybody disagree with any of this? So listen, I'm telling you, without a doubt, do not be deceived. Anger is evil. Don't let people tell you human nature is the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way. Look at what's happening in this country with the angry people. Look at your own family. Look how screwed up the families are. If anger was good, why are the families so screwed up? Everybody has anger in the family. It's not working. Anger is evil. Innocent children cannot have the anger in the parents. That's why eventually they're like innocent when they're first born. And if the mother or father is angry, they become angry and they start to become just like their parents. Angry, they lack of patience, they start fighting with one another and everything. Anger is not good, folks. Anger is evil. God did not give you a spirit of anger. That came straight out of hell. So forgive, all right? So you'll be free. Biblical question for next week.
Why do you carry out the works of the flesh?
How many people carry out the works of the flesh? Oh, how many people? Let me see. Nice. And why do you do it? Why do you carry out the works of the flesh? The young man in the purple.
I think it's a constant struggle to work against your flesh. So it's just something you have to deal with all the time.
Yeah, how old are you?
15.
15. Okay. Do you want to carry out the work of the flesh?
No.
Yeah, you don't want to, huh?
No.
Amazing. All right, well, I can't answer now. I have to wait a week, so just suffer for 1 week. But that's good. Have you forgiven your mother and father? Is this your first time here?
Yeah.
Oh, this is your first time. What's your first name?
Reuben.
Reuben, have you forgiven your mother and father?
I think I forgive him because sometimes I'm irritated or whatnot because it's just, yeah, you just get angry at them sometimes, but.
Speak up a bit.
I think sometimes I get irritated at them, but like I just forgive them because they want what's best for me, so.
Have you told them you forgive them?
Not necessarily like explicitly.
And why not?
I just haven't.
Do you know that any male that has anger is a woman?
No, I didn't know that.
Now you know. You becoming like your mother. So forgive your mother so that you can go back to being yourself and you grow up a man. And meaning that you're not emotional, you're not worried, you don't have fear, and nothing will bother you. Nothing will bother you. You never get irritated again, but you gotta forgive your mother because you're becoming like her. And when you tell your father to help you deal with your mother, what does he say? Does he help you?
They both help me.
What?
Both my dad and my mom help me in life. Yeah.
So your mother helped you deal with herself?
They both help me in general, like in life.
How they helped you?
Giving me advice, caring for me, giving me support.
Do they tell you to forgive?
Yes.
Okay, well, forgive your mother. And have you forgiven your father?
For things that he does, yeah.
You told him?
I don't think like explicitly, but.
I want you to encourage you to go to them and forgive them. God said, go to the source and forgive the source, and I will forgive you. So have a talk with them and forgive them both. All right?
If I can ask, what should I forgive them for?
For the lack of patience, the little things that irritate you. Notice what irritates you about them, and those are the things you need to forgive them for. Because parents are supposed to be perfect. And if they were perfect, they would not irritate you. Because in love, there is no irritation. All right? That makes sense?
If you forgive your father and your mother, can you go on to be a better parent?
Once you forgive your parents, I promise you, you will. Because you won't have anger, you will only have love, and you will only pass down love to your children, not anger at all, because it wouldn't be in your nature. You will only have the love of God in you, and that's what you will pass down to your children, and you will start a new generation, a generation of love instead of hate. You will not do to them what's been done to you. All right? Amazing, huh? Did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm his father.
Oh, you're the father.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know he get irritated?
No, he doesn't tell me anything, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I know that.
Why don't you help him deal with his mother?
I do. I'm always talking with him about that.
You talk to him about it?
Yes.
And do you correct the mother in front of him?
Yes.
Oh, good. Did you know that? He said he didn't know it. Put it on the mic. You didn't know your father was protecting you from your mother?
Well, sometimes he's like, sometimes he tells me not to. He tells me sometimes not to listen to some things that she says, but then my mom tells me not to listen to some things that he says.
Right in the middle of a war. Wow. And who do you listen to, your mother or your father?
Both depends on like the.
Poor man.
What I'm facing.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Do you believe your father when he tell you what he tell you?
Yeah.
Do you believe your mother?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, here's what I recommend. You pay attention to the way either one of them irritate you, all right? So that you can overcome the irritation, and then you will see who is right and who's wrong. You'll see it for yourself. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Is there necessarily like a division between who is right and who is wrong?
Yes.
Or can you? Okay.
And the only reason, unless both parents are working on themselves, meaning that they're not blaming each other for the way they feel, what they think, and all that kind of stuff, but they're overcoming that, there will not be a division or dividing between each other. Only when they are not working on themselves that they're divided, because both of them are on the side of evil, unless one is trying to overcome.
So how do you know who's right and then who's wrong?
That by not resenting them. That's what I'm telling you. Forgive them both. And then you will see who is right and who is wrong. For yourself, they will not be able to deceive you. You'll see it clearly.
All right.
All right? That make sense?
I see it.
Okay. And you're still young. You're 15. Start working on it. You'll see. All right? Be patient. The young lady way in the back wanted to tell me the biblical question, then we're done. The biblical question this week is what, Hake?
Why do you carry out the works of the flesh?
You had your hand about that.
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, do you carry out the works of the flesh?
Oh, yes, I feel like I do.
Did I see your hand when I asked?
Okay, yes, yes. I
Uh-huh.
just didn't know I was gonna have to.
And why do
answer for
you
that.
carry it out?
Because I'm weak sometimes, and I just give in to whatever desires in my head.
Amazing. I want to respond so badly, but I gotta wait. So suffer for a week.
Okay.
All right. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yes, Hake.
Can I give context to what works of the flesh is also translated as?
Yes.
It's also translated as self-indulgence.
Yeah. This question is a deep, deep, mamma mia, hola, si, senor. Gracias. This is a deep, once you see this, is all, you're free. Really. I hear a lot of Christians say, well, I'm still a sinner because of the flesh is weak. And something like that. Something dumb. So, but once you see this is why I want to encourage you to work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself. Forgive, do the silent prayer, be still and know. And the silent prayer is on my website at rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. You want to go into your closet within yourself and be still and know the Father. This is you. When you forgive, He's going to bring you out of your imagination. All thoughts, all lies, all the time about anything. He's going to bring you out of your imagination because you've been identified with everything that's wrong. You call yourself this, and you call yourself that, and you call yourself this, and you call yourself that, and you're none of those things. And all those things will die. They're of the ego. They will die. They're of the nature of the devil. This is why you shouldn't be calling yourself angry or anything. Don't give yourself any more titles. You want to be free. No title, all false identity. So He'll bring you out and He'll allow you to see all these thoughts. And in seeing them, He'll destroy them because they're all works of the devil. All right? Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Father's Day again. And enjoy your fathers today. Forgive them if you haven't. This is a good day to forgive your fathers. What else? What? Oh, no women's forum this week. No. Normally we had the ladies forum the Thursday night, but not this week. All right. What else? Thank you for your support. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, and we'll see you tomorrow on the radio. Thank you all. Amazing meeting. I appreciate it. Amazing. So we're going to do